Kunal Bothra from LKP Securities now joins in. Kunal, what would you make of the market? It's a classical bottoming out market where, 7955 is the day's low, 8060 is the day's high, and we are likely to close above that level if the momentum continues.
Yeah, I think, hi Pankaj, first of all, good afternoon. I think the first, sort of retracement which you've seen from that 7550 low, somewhere start of September and, closer to, I think, last week where we topped out at, closer to 8320, 8330 on Nifty spot. That's an exact 33% kind of retracement on Nifty. We hit that, sub 8000 mark. So I think the fact that we're taking support of that 50-day moving average, which is closer to 8007 on, Nifty spot levels, and the fact is that we'll be closing above that. It looks like that we'll be closing above that level. I think it's a good enough sign. I think the 6 days of continuous sell-off, the 6th day rather today, I think it is now finding some credible support around the 8000 mark. So I'm expecting a bounce at least till 8120, 8130 on Nifty over the next 2 or 3 trading sessions purely.
Right. Kunal, as a technical analyst, you would want for confirmation of a bottom. You would want the markets to make a bottom and then on the same day or maybe next day morning take out the highs of the day. Is that a confirmation that at least a near-term bottom has been made?
Yeah, I think Pankaj, what we have to see is, the kind of textures the market move, day in, day out when you're looking at any sort of recovery. Remember that the last 6 days, even there were chances of mid recovery, couple of days back, I think on Friday or Thursday, when the markets showed some sort of intraday resilience, but at the end it sold off, and now we are seeing some good fight back happening. You have to look at the internals of the market, not just in terms of the market or one particular index. I think you look at the Bank Nifty today. I think for most part of the day, Bank Nifty has been outperforming Nifty, which I think is a good sign. On Friday as well, Bank Nifty was one of the fewer index which managed to close in the green. So lending support at this point of time, especially when Nifty hit that 8000 sub 8000 mark intraday, but Bank Nifty was the one which probably led this recovery. So I sense that if you look at the internals and the way the Nifty chart is structured on an intraday basis or on a daily closing basis, I think the chances of taking support on the 8000 mark, the odds of taking support on the 8000 mark increases significantly. So if you wait for a confirmation, there could be chance that Nifty may open gap up with say a couple of X percentage points if it happens that way. But I think the chances, if you're a contrarian trader and if you want attractive risk rewards, then I think the odds of you getting right increases significantly at that point.
Right. Kunal, I'll come back to a tough question. RCOM. Last time you told us 81, 82 and we significantly close above that level, then you would be sure that the name is going up. We are closer to 80, positive news flow regarding mergers are coming in. You think that this name has made a bottom and now one should look at Reliance Communication from here on?
It looks like, Pankaj, because in fact, just a couple of days back, I was looking at the charts, and it seemed to be forming some sort of a support around the 77, 78 mark. You look at it from the last 1 month or 1.5 month kind of rally. The stock from just about 50 levels managed to give a good decent rally of almost 60% in a matter of couple of months. From there on, correction generally somewhere closer to 80 odd. We anticipated some sort of a correction on RCOM. It happened. Even though the correction at this point from a short term perspective looks to be a bit short term oriented, I would sense that I believe that if the stock probably consolidates for at least a week or two in this range of 75 and 82, say over the next 1 week or this week as well as next week second half, I think if that happens, then it could probably give an ideal sort of a turn around in terms of the longer term time frame. But I think this intraday recovery or this intraday good rise in RCOM seems to be very short term oriented, probably testing that previous high of 82ish on RCOM is possible. But as I said, for a slightly medium term trader, I believe a good sign would be probably a 1.5 week of consolidation in this range of 75 and 82 on RCOM.
Right. Now if you put up RCOM versus say a Bharti or a Idea, RCOM chart is looking decisively better, say if you want to trade on the long side?
Yes, Pankaj, it looks decisively better because I think if you look at the weekly charts, this is the first time in the last, I think 1.5 year, I think start of 2015 rather, not 1.5 year, probably around 10 or 11 months, that it's given a swing breakout, a swing high. For the first time, it's taken the previous high on a convincing basis on the weekly charts as well. after a phase of correction, taking support and then probably trying to inch back again. So I think on the weekly chart basis as well, there seems to be more credibility which one can assign on RCOM, which is where I believe is probably lacking in names like Bharti or Idea, where I think the longer term charts are still in a bit of an unstructured or consolidation range, on a larger consolidation range rather. But RCOM has already given a swing breakout confirmation, so I would probably give more points and more add-ons to RCOM at this point of time, and probably would wait on Bharti and Idea before these charts also try and break out if it happens.
Right. What would you make of Larsen? The sell-off that we've seen over there on Friday, extended sell-off today. You think a near-term bottom is made?
Well, Pankaj, I probably have a different opinion on Larsen. I believe that the start of 2014, when the stock was in the range of 1500, 1550 odd, in the last 1.5 years from 2015 odd to 2014 to 2015, it managed to move in this 200-point band. The band probably accelerated in terms of the price momentum, but there was never a huge momentum which we saw on LNT. In fact, the recent correction which you saw from those 1870, 1880 levels on Larsen, and the recent rally also which you saw, I think there seems to be some sort of a short-term or rather a stronger resistance which has built up at 1600 mark. And I think if you look at the charts as well, the way the charts are structured on the daily basis, the stock is below the 50-day moving average, below the 200-day moving average. This rally which we'd seen, I think couple of weeks back, had a resistance around that 50-day moving average. So I think the longer term charts for LNT has more or less now become a bit dicey. I believe that if the stock doesn't break the 50-day moving average, which at this point is closer to 1550 on LNT, I think if it doesn't break that over the next couple of weeks very quickly, I sense that it could probably continue this leg of lower highs and lower lows over the next 2 to 3 months. So I would be a bit skeptical on looking at bottom fishing on LNT. I would rather look to be preemptive and going short if it comes closer to the 50-day moving average.
Right. What is the 50-day moving average?
It's at 1550 on the daily charts on LNT spot levels.
1550. So that's quite a while from here on. What's your view on OBC? It's up 8%. We've seen such bounces coming in on PSU banks as they declare numbers, but they've always been sold off it. Do you think this time also it's just a trading or some sort of short build-up that was there, which is now getting squeezed?
I think the longer term charts for OBC seems to be having some sort of a support around 125 mark. I think in 2013 you had that August kind of sell off in the markets. That time the stock took base around 125, but it was a multi-week consolidation. This time around as well, I think we touched 125. I think in the month of August odd, and we've almost seen a consolidation of 2.5 months on the stock. But I think the longer term charts would take a lot of time to really give a buy signal. The stock has not given a swing breakout as well. If you look at the August or September high, it was closer to 149, 150 on Oriental Bank. So I believe that this rally which you're seeing today may probably have a couple of legs, but I think from a decisive point of view, rather more conviction, I would look for a confirmation about 155 or 156 on Oriental Bank. If it manages to close about that, then probably you can give more points or more confidence or conviction that the stock has given a swing breakout on that longer term time frame chart. But I think at this point of time it looks to be a very short term oriented rally, Pankaj.
Right. Kunal, just two names before we end. Tech Mahindra, they declare numbers tomorrow. Yes Bank, the numbers versus the Axis, ICICI, some of the other private majors were quite solid. First on Yes Bank, do you think that it will continue to deserve a premium versus others? And about Tech Mahindra, because it has performed in this quarter going into the numbers, unlike some of the other IT players.
I think I've been tracking Yes Bank and probably Axis Bank very closely, Pankaj, in the last 2.5 months, because the kind of momentum or movement we saw in Yes Bank was completely different as it's structured in Axis or say or stock like ICICI Bank as well. Yes Bank managed to lead that particular momentum in terms of the rally. I think from those 600 650 odd lows, which we saw somewhere in the month of September. The stock has gradually, gained momentum. In the last 2 weeks, it's seen a phase of consolidation, which I believe, as I said in RCOM, that if you have at least a couple of weeks consolidation, that's supposed to be a very good sign, because then the next rally, if it happens with decent volumes, is a higher probable rally, or probably a higher a stronger rally in that case. But somewhere in the last 1.5 months, Axis Bank or the charts of Axis Bank managed to fail completely in that regards. So I think Yes Bank charts are poised very well. If anyone is looking for a breakout trade, or probably sign of confirmation of entering Yes Bank, I would suggest that you wait for at least a breakout of 780 levels. If it happens, say tomorrow, today or tomorrow, I think that would be a very good sign to enter into Yes Bank. I would look at least a movement of at least 10 to 15% on Yes Bank. So keeping a target base somewhere closer to 850 to 880 range on Yes Bank, and a stop loss as tight as 740. In terms of Axis Bank, as I said, that the charts or the way the stock managed to post rally, consolidate, failed that consolidation, broke that previous support, I think the stock could probably take at least a couple of weeks before it tries to gain momentum. So I think Axis Bank is one which traders can actually avoid, but Yes Bank is the stock which traders can actually look at even at this point of time.
Right, Kunal, thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. Hope you have a great day.